Okay, looks like we are live streaming. Hey, everybody on Zoom. And then let me share it from my phone real quick. So give me a 2 if this is your first time on the live for the tutorial, and give me a 3 if you ain't new to this, you true to this. So 2 if you're new, 3 if you have been here before. We got some 2s and some 3s, pretty good split. So I'm sharing this to my groups and my other platforms real quick, so bear with me. Also, let me know if you have your backdrop starter kit. So if you have a backdrop starter kit, just type in kit in the chat. And if you are a current backdrop blueprint member, no matter what tier it is, go ahead and put blueprint. I just want to see where everybody is. So kit if you have your kit, or if you're in the blueprint, type the word blueprint. All right, I think I got everything shared and we're ready to go. All right, so we got some blueprint members, okay? So welcome to Tutorial Tuesday. These happen every other Tuesday, unless I add a new one or have to reschedule, but tentatively every other Tuesday. My name is B. Marquita, aka the Backdrop Plug. And I also teach how to make backdrops as well as designing them myself. So I still have customers. I still design through my Shopify store and my Etsy shops. So those are things that you will learn about if you are in the academy. So the Backdrop Blueprint Academy. And if you are in the designer tier, you simply just learn how to get the software, how to use the software, how to create your designs, and how to upload those designs to the vendors. But of course, the academy goes way, way, way above and beyond just the designer tier. All right. So if you are here, you are interested in learning how to make designs, whether you already make them or you do t-shirts, cakes, desserts, treats. And a matter of fact, let me know in the chat what you all do. Are you a t-shirt maker, a dessert maker? What else is there? Event planner, event decorator. Let me know in the chat. Just so I can see that I'm reaching my people. All right. It says custom anything. Tax preparer. Okay, so are you in crafts at all? Like any kind of craft? Zenda? We got embroiderer, event planner, balloon artist. Somebody tell Nicole she may need to come in and come back out because y'all are responding to me so y'all can hear me. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started on a design. So this is what the GIMP screen is going to look like. So give me a 5 in the chat if you see this GIMP screen. Awesome. So this is what your screens should look like or be very similar to, no matter whether you got the backdrop starter kit and actually went through and set it up, or if you are in the backdrop blueprint, or if you're in the mini class. All of my courses and mini classes and freebies all have video step-by-step of how to set up your GIMP, because this is going to be the starting point if you're going to be working with me, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get started with our design. We're going to do a square backdrop today. So if you do not have a template set up, what you're going to do, you're going to go to File, New, and then let me see if my OGs are paying attention or remember and have implemented. What are the dimensions for the width and height that I recommend using for your square backdrops? If anybody knows, put it in the chat. Yep, 6,000 by 6,000. So if you are starting fresh and you do not have a template, but I highly recommend you all start setting up templates for all the different sizes. This is what you're going to do. You're going to go to File, New, click on OK. It's going to tell you opening up a large file. Click OK again, and you're going to see your design space. And it's going to be whatever color your background color is. So here's your foreground where my mouse is hovering, and here's my background. So it's going to automatically default to your background color. So don't panic if you don't see black. But I have a template already set up, so I'm going to actually open that file. I'm going to close out of this one. I'm going to go to File, Open, and then I'm going to go find my template for my square. You can see I have different sizes saved. These are the most popular sizes. Open my square. You can see here at the top, it is 6,000 by 6,000. You can see my logo here in the bottom right corner. And you can see my watermark faintly in the background. So that is what the template consists of. Right? So the first thing I want to do, so that I don't overwrite this template, I want to save it. In my naming convention, I save it using the customer's name, the size that they're getting it printed, but this is just going to be a digital design that I'm going to send to somebody who submitted a while back when I did the first graduate design. So I'm just going to name it after them. So let me go to my email. I got a new email from Ashley Ann. Let's see here. I'm trying to find a picture I was looking. Actually, that was it. That was it. So here are the images. Here is the name. So Jaquana Alfred. That's what I'm going to name my file after. So I'm just going to copy, go back to GIMP. To save as, you're going to go to File, Save As. paste in the name. And I'm just going to say that this is a digital design, if I can spell. Make sure that it ends in XCF. That is the file type for GIMP. And then you just want to save it to whatever folder that you have your open designs in. So Jaquana, Alfred, digital design, click on save. Okay. Then I'm going to go and grab this information. But first, I'm going to go ahead and grab the images. So we're going to have to, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to be able to, because these are sent as attachments, I'm not going to be able to just copy the images. I'm going to have to download them. So I'm going to download them real quick. And then to save time tonight, usually I do my background removals. As you can see, there's all this background. I usually do them manually, but I also have been doing using remove.bg as well, but just making sure that everything looks clean and clear when I do use it. So let's go ahead and go to remove.bg. And then we're going to go to upload image. And then we're going to go to our downloads and find the images that we just downloaded. And you have to do one by one unless you have a paid account with them, I believe. And I don't have one. I just use the free feature. Well, actually, no, that was a lie. I do have an account with them because sometimes I have to remove a lot of backgrounds really quickly. So go to open. And if you were able to copy the image, you can just right click or control V. So right click paste or control V, and then it will add that image automatically if you were able to do that method. Okay. So you can either download the image and save it to your computer, or you can copy this image and paste it into GIMP. And I just learned that the other day. I thought I had to download every time, but I didn't. So if you just right click, copy the image, go back to GIMP, and then you're going to go to edit, paste as, new layer. And as you can see, it's real small. We'll scale it up in a minute. But let's go ahead and remove the backgrounds for all of the images real quick. So I'm going to scroll back up, upload another image. Which one did I just do? Yeah. Did I start from the top or the bottom? I have no idea. Let's see. Okay. Same one. Sometimes I start from the top, sometimes I start from the bottom. You have to excuse me sometimes. So let me zoom in to see. Okay, that looks good. Sometimes you have to double check. So again, right click, copy, go back to GIMP, edit, paste as, new layer. Always paste this new layer because we want to keep working within the same design file, okay? To go to the third one. And we're going to do one more time after this one. Edit, paste as, new layer. And one more. GIMP is free. That's why I do everything in GIMP. And that's why I teach in it also. All right, so we have all of our images now in here. So let's go ahead and save it just in case. Okay, I don't know what was going on outside, but anyway, I'm back. So as you can see, the images are very, very small. So we're going to use our scale tools to scale each of these up. All right. You can see our pasted layers over here in our layers window. So what I'm going to do to scale them all at the same time, beside this eyeball, which shows that these layers are on, I'm going to click on this empty square beside each one of those pasted layers with the images. And this is going to link all of those layers together. So anything that I do to one will happen to all of them. All right. So click the link beside the eyeball. And then we're going to go to our scale tool. It looks like a small square pointing down to a larger square. And then with one of these layers selected, we're just going to grab a corner or an edge and just drag it. And what you want to remember is to make sure that this chain is linked. Because if not, it's going to distort the image. It's not going to scale proportionally. So right here, you want to make sure that the chain is linked. See where I'm moving my mouse? Then click on scale. When you get it to whatever looks good to you. I'm pretty sure I'm going to change it several times during this training, but I just wanted to show you how to scale them all at the same time. See? Now I can go a little bigger. So all of them increased in size. And then you can just unlink them. So I'm trying to see which design I want to use today. Hold on. I think I want to go for like the magazine-ish type look. Y'all cool with that? All right, so what I'm going to do next, now that we have our images in here ready to be used, let's go ahead and crop each of these down to get rid of this extra space, because the guideline for each of these layers is this yellow dotted line. And as you can see, it's not right at the edges of those images. So that's taking up extra space. So let me turn off the other one so you can see what I mean. So you see all this extra space back here? We don't need that. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go to layer, crop the content. And now you can see the border is right at the edges of the image. So I'm going to do this for each of the other ones. So I'm just turning off all of the layers I'm not working on and leaving on the one I am, and then clicking on it so that it's selected. Layer, crop to content, layer, crop to content, turn this one off, turn this one on, click on it, and layer, crop to content. All right. So are there any questions so far? I've gone through removing the backgrounds, and these are actually good removals today. Like I don't see too much I need to fix. So removing the background, you use a remove.bg, copying those images and pasting them back into GIMP, and then scaling those images as well as cropping out the extra space on each layer. So give me a yes if you are still following me. If not, ask the question in the chat. The yellow line is outside of the box. That's okay. Yes, because we're going to move it anyway. All right. We got some yeses. I don't see any other questions. I'm going to keep on going. So now, before I place all these images and stuff, I'm going to start adding my text layers. So how to get to the text layer? You're going to go to this black bolded capital A. That is your text tool. So once you click on it, you're going to see your submenu pop up. Can y'all, in the app, can y'all see my little profile picture in the bottom corner, or is it just me seeing it? I wonder if I can move that. Oh, I want y'all to see my naked. Okay, I don't know how to move it. I'll figure that out the next time. But anyway, if you join the blueprint, you'll see the Zoom without all the extra stuff covering it. Hint, hint. But anyway, text tool. You'll see the fonts as well as the size and the colors. And right here is justification. And if you cannot see right here, this is just going to show you the alignment. The indentation, the spacing, and the spacing, the line spacing, and then the spacing between each letters. So that's what's showing right here. I scooted it up so you can see. All right. So with this box under the word text, this is how you choose the font that you want to use. So as you scroll through, you may see some stuff that you don't have. That is okay. That is simply because I download a lot of fonts almost daily and I install them. So I have a lot of fonts on my computer. And you can go in and play with downloading as well. But anyway, the font that I want to use is actually already selected. It's called Afterglow, and that is one of the ones that I downloaded. Let me see, what color was her? Go back and see. I know the colors were green and gold. Okay, green, black, and gold. So I'm going to grab this information too. So I'm going to grab this name, copy, go back to GIMP with our paste or text tool selected. We're going to click inside of our canvas. This is considered our canvas. And then you're going to, let me change the color to black. So all I did was use the arrow to flip it. Click inside of the canvas and then Control V or Command V if you're on Mac. And as you can see, here's our text layer. with the name. And I'm going to do the same thing with the name of the school. Copy. Text tool. Click inside. Control V or Command V if you are on Mac. So as you can see, it's really small. We can increase the size of these just the same. You can either scale it, but I prefer that you highlight it all. So just click in there. It's like a double or triple click. That's going to highlight it all. In this menu that pops up where it says the name of the font and the size, you can use the up and down arrows to change the size. Or you can type in the number if you know a size that's going to work. I often just use the up and down arrows because I don't really know, because the way that each font works is different. So each font is going to scale differently. So I just use the up and down arrows. Then you can use your move tool, which literally looks like a crossbar. It's the first tool. Click inside of that layer and move it to wherever you want it to be. Right now, I'm just going to move it to the bottom out of the way. But let's go in using our text tool, highlight this. Let me move it down. If I can grab it, there we go. Text tool, highlight it all. Use the up arrow to scale it up. If I need to scale it down, use the down arrows. Use the move tool to move it around. And there's that. All right, so what I'm just playing around with it right now. So I think I actually want the word graduation or graduate across the top. So I'm gonna just duplicate one of these layers that I already have. This one is already big, so I'm gonna duplicate this one. Right click on it or click on it to select it and then duplicate here at the very bottom. And then move it up. So now you see we have two of the same layer. So that was just simply selecting the layer I wanted to duplicate and then hitting duplicate on the bottom. So if you hover over it, you'll see create a duplicate of the layer. But I want to change this to the word graduate. So just click in and using the text tool. Graduation, or if I cannot spell today. Yeah, I do graduate. I was going to do graduation at first. Delete everything else. And make this real big. You can use the move tool. If you want to center it specific, like exactly, you can use the alignment tool. Let's say your movement, your positioning is a little off. You can use the alignment tool, which is beside the move tool. Click on it. And then that's the menu that pops up. You can click on center. And then it snaps it into the middle. Okay. So let's see what else we can add. Actually, let me turn these images off so I can do all my texting. So I wanted to say graduate 2023 edition, because again, I'm doing like a magazine type thing. And then like issue May 2023. A little quote like the tassel was worth the hassle or something like that. If y'all think of something else clever, put it in the chat. I'll see what it looks like. Of course, the name and then the pictures. Okay. So boom, let's go ahead and do some more text layers. Text tool, I want it to be a different font because you know magazine covers all have different fonts. Let's play around, see which one I want to use. I want to do something thin. Let's see what Boogie Nights looks like. So I'm gonna put, oops, don't click in that same box, or it's gonna pull everything back to what's in there, which is what just happened. No worries, just go find what you were working on again. Ooh. What I say, Boogie Nights. So let me just click not inside of that layer. 2023 edition. Y'all know how to increase the size now, or you should. Let's say you don't like this font. You can go over here and change it. Let's see. Let's try Calibri. Okay, that's better. So I changed it to Calibri. Make sure it's highlighted, change it over here, or you can also change it here, but you have to type it in here if you know the name of it. Sometimes that's not always feasible. So I'm increasing the size using our move tool to move it over. And then over here, I'm going to say issue. Oh, sorry, I'm going to quit going to sleep. Issue May 2023. I'm going to do another text layer. As you can see, it's really easy to add text layers. A lot of people want to make it this big old ordeal. Issue May 2023. I don't want this to be as big. Move it around. Y'all think of any clever sayings? Or y'all cool with the tassel? What's worth the hassle? Nope. Just let me know in the chat. They're like, that's fine. Okay. So I'm literally just changing the size of stuff right now. And what I'm going to do is I want her first name to be like real pretty cursive. And then I can just leave the last name in a print. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to separate these or copy these layers and then just leave each name on each different layer. So with this layer selected, again, I'm going to duplicate it. Fifth icon, duplicate. You can see there's 2 layers. Let's use our text tool to remove the last name from this one. And click down here in this layer and remove the first name from this one. And I really like her name, My Unique. So I want to change this to a really pretty cursive using our text tool. There is a font that has me like in a chokehold called Amarillo. And when I change it to that, you can see all the curly cues. But that's real big, so I'm gonna scale it down because we still need to have space to add these 4 images, right? And I think, oh, let me do the tassel was worth the hassle. And then I think that's gonna be it for all of our text, okay? So another text layer. How you spell tassel? Tassel. Was worth the, is it Illy? Somebody Somebody Google it for me. I know hassle is L-E. Okay, so it's right. Okay. And I'm probably going to change the font of this in a second, depending on how it looks. But so far, give me a yes if this is making sense. I added individual text layers using our text tool. I've shown you how to change the font through the sub menu, and after you've already created the layer, and moving them and aligning those layers. So give me a yes if that makes sense. If not, ask your question in the chat. All right, I see nothing but yeses. Thank you. All right, so y'all see how it's starting to look like a magazine, right? Let's go ahead and file save. Just in case something happens. We don't want that to happen. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna add these pictures in here and place them and move them around to see what looks good. So we're gonna turn on those layers. And then we need to also move them down below the text. So that we can see the text. That size actually looks like it is gonna be decent, but let's see once we do the other ones. So here's another image. You know what? I could have used this image as the background maybe. So let me see what this original looked like. So this is 110, 133. Let me see if I can find that original file. Open its layers. Let's find that download. Ooh. I don't know what just happened. Hold on. Oh, we back. Sorry. I don't know what I just pressed. My bad. Let me find this one. All right, because I think I actually might want to use oh Lord. Add members. Can y'all still see? Give me a 2 in the chat. Okay. Woo, I almost panicked a little bit. But to say it's been going so good this week. Okay. So here's the image with the background still on it. I actually want to see what this looks like. So what I'm going to do, here it is, it's right in the middle. I'm going to scale it up so that it fits the entire canvas. So my smallest dimension needs to be 6,000. I can just type it in, click on scale. And then I'm going to use my alignment tool to click in here. And I know the alignment tool is selected because of the square in the corner. Let's center and middle. I think I kind of am going to like it. So let me move this down. We'll play around with it though. To the very bottom. Let's turn this one without the background off. Because I wanted it to look active. Because at first I was going to do like just the background I found off a PNG tree. But since her colors are actually in her background, and it looks more authentic, I guess that's the word I'm going for. I'm going to see what that's like. So let's turn our other images on. Move them Oh yeah, this is gonna be cute. I just got excited a little bit. I just got real excited a little bit. Like her pictures actually work very good for this. And we're moving them all down behind the layers. So now we can move our other stuff around. Okay. So I'm trying to find somewhere to put the tassel where it's worth the hassle. And I'm actually going to change that font. So let's go in here using our text tool because I don't like the cursive on that. Let's use our Afterglow. And then you can also drag these ends to change the spacing or the positioning of the text layers. I forgot to mention that earlier. And I need to increase this because that is little. Why do I have so many emails going on right now? So if it comes out, that just means you need to stretch this box out, your text box. Use the move tool, and I'm gonna change the colors of these also. Okay, that's some good spacing. And let's say I wanted this part to be a different text. So you can actually change text within the layer too and have two different fonts. So that's another gem. Let's say we haven't saved in a while. All right, so it's getting real cute, y'all. It's getting real cute. Kind of excited. And then I'm gonna increase the spacing because that's kind of tight to me. All right, so bam. Because there is so much black in her images, I'm going to go with white, green, and gold text. So let's see what looks best. So to change your colors, you just highlight it and click here to change it. And it'll change here. And also in the little box that pops up, you can't see it right now because I'm too close to the top, I believe. There's a little square that you can change the color to. So I'm actually going to show you how to do that here. So let me grab this one. You see this little square that pops up? That's what I was just referring to. So you can change it here in the pop-up once everything's highlighted, or over here in our little sub menu. So let's say we want this green, but we don't know the exact green. So what we can do is select the green. So click on the eyedropper tool. It literally looks like a little dropper for liquids. Click on that. You'll see your cursor will turn into an eyedropper icon, and just click anywhere on your screen to get the color that you want. And I'm going for this green. So I'm just going to click on the green. And as you can see, it shows up here for our current color. We're going to click on OK. And then that text turns that color. So it's real easy when you know what to do. Thank you, Latasha. Yeah, you just have to know what to do. So I'm gonna do the same thing for this one. The green is already selected here, so I'm just click on OK. If it isn't selected, just do the same thing with the eyedropper tool. Yeah, and we'll probably add like an outline or something if we need this to pop out a little bit more. All right. So then I want to do the name in gold, but I want it to be a glitter gold. But I'm also going to show you how to do a gradient because it looks like we have a little bit of time for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this layer. It's already selected, as you can see, with the yellow dotted line. Let's duplicate it, and then let's turn one of them off and just work on one. So let's do the gradient first. Oh, I got a question in chat. Yeah, take your time, Jeanette. You're here on Zoom, so you have access to the step-by-step videos. You don't have to worry about going through the long, hour-long tutorials. In the backdrop blueprint, it's all broken down. Each design element is broken down in short videos, like 5 to 10 minute videos. So don't panic. All right. So with the duplicated layer selected, we're going to right click. Everybody put right click, because I think it's the first time I've talked about right clicking today. Right click. Cha-cha now, y'all. No, I'm kidding. Right click, right click. Then we're going to go to the very bottom where it says alpha to selection. That is always how you turn on the selection. And what I mean by that, this is going to be your marching ants or your moving dotted lines. So right click alpha to selection. So now you see the moving dotted lines around the name. Okay. We're going to go to our gradient tool. It looks like a diamond. Left side is a dark color, faded down to the right side to a lighter color. That's our gradient tool. Click on that. In the sub menu that pops up, we're going to click on this square. Excuse me. And then you can see all the different presets that are already here. These are already built into GIMP. And you can see all the different ones, but I want to go for this golden. Right click on the layer, alpha to selection, Latasha. So click on the golden. Next thing you want to do, you want to click on shape, and you'll see the different options that your gradient will start to fill. You can do linear, bilinear, radial, blah, 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 spiral. I often use linear or bilinear most of the time. Sometimes there is reason to select one of the other ones, but you can play around with it to see what looks good to you. I'm gonna just do linear. And then I'm just gonna click and drag across my selection and give it a little time to complete the assignment. And it doesn't matter if you go from left to right, right to left, top to bottom, corner to corner. It just depends on how you want it to look. And you can adjust each of these points as well. And then it gets kind of ugly. I don't like that. So let me drag it back. And there's the goal. So then once you get it to look how you want it to look, click inside of the selection. And that gets rid of that pop-up that was just there. Hit enter on your keyboard to get rid of the guidelines. So all we did was click and hit enter. And then we're going to go to select none to turn off the selection. And now y'all got a name filled with gold gradient. So what I did, clicked on the layer, right click, alpha to selection. And then once the marching ants popped up, I used my gradient tool, went in and selected golden, and linear, but that's completely up to what you want it to look like. And then I drug it across, played around with the endpoints till it looked good to me. Clicked inside of the selection, hit enter, and then select none. Everybody good so far? Let me get a yes in the chat. If not, ask your question. Cool. All right, so we still got a few more minutes. So I'm gonna keep on going. So I said I wanted to do a glitter gold. So let me grab that. So how you do it, typically you're just gonna find a pattern file online, but you can do PNG tree. Most glitters are not copyrighted, so you should be good to go. Don't quote me and say that it's a definite, but you should be good to go grabbing a background from Google that's glitter. So I have some saved to my computer already. So I'm going to, of course, open it as a layer, because if you have something already saved, you have to open it as a layer. Unlike the copy and paste we did when we removed the background. So file again, open as layers, go in and find your folder where your graphics are. FYI, if you do not have a graphics folder that is not organized, get one. Because as you continue making designs, because I'm claiming it for all of y'all gonna get good at designing too, you need to organize all of your files. I think this is the gold I always use. So here's my gold glitter. Open it like we did everything else. You can see I have a very large glitter layer. So it's gonna cover that with no problem. So how we get to just filling in the name. So don't panic that your screen is covered with glitter. Do not panic. We're going to click on the layer that we want to add the glitter to. And we want to make sure that our glitter is on top of that layer or above that layer so that it shows. Same thing we did almost. Right click, alpha to selection. So now y'all can see here's the outline of the marching ants for that layer. All right. Then you're going to click on your glitter layer. Okay. And you want to make sure that you right click in that, or when you right click on the glitter layer, alpha to, hold on, back, getting tongue tied. All right. So after we've added the selection for the name, we're going to click on the glitter layer, right click, and then you want to make sure that add alpha channel is grayed out. As you can see, mine is not. So you want to click on it to gray it out. The reasoning is because once we remove the back, everything that's not part of that name that's selected, we want that deletion to be transparent, not a solid color. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like if it's not the alpha channel isn't added. So you're gonna go to select, invert, delete. So you see how it filled with my background color? We don't want that to happen. That's what I meant. So let's edit, undo. So right click, let's gray it out. Gray out, add alpha channel. So now when we hit delete, ta-da, we see what's supposed to be there. And then we're gonna go to select, none. So here is our glitter. So if I turn it off, you'll see our gradient. If I turn it on, here's our glitter. Any questions on that part? So we've done gradient as well as adding a glitter pattern so that the name is sparkly and bedazzled. I mean, yes, if that makes sense. If not, let me know. Let me know, let me know. All right, so lastly, we're just gonna clean some stuff up so that everything pops and looks good. And then we'll be done. We wanna do some editing, make sure everything's spelled correctly, all that good stuff. So what I do, hold on. I usually just start from the bottom or from the top to the bottom with the layers to see what needs to be changed on each layer. So Washington Marion Magnet High School, let's make high school 2 words. So just go back into your text tool, make the modifications. Let's highlight it and shrink it just a tinch and use our alignment tool to center. Let's see about adding a shadow or something. So we're gonna go to filters, light and shadow. Let's see what a long shadow looks like. Once that menu pops up, you can change the color, the angle, and the length of the shadow. All right, what's the next layer? Issue. Let's see what it looks like with that same shadow applied to that one. Filters, repeat. Okay. Next one, filters, repeat. And you can also add outlines to these too if you want them to pop a little more, but I'm not gonna go into that tonight because we're coming up on time. Graduate. I think that looks fine as it is. Here's our gold glitter layer. As you can see, this is very big from where the original glitter pattern was. So we're gonna go to layer, crop the content. Oh, it didn't let me do it. So let's just crop it manually using the crop tool, which looks like a square with made of 2 right angles. And then you can just click and drag to where you want it to be. Hit enter on your keyboard. And there is that layer. I'm gonna turn off the next layer because I didn't want the gradient. Here's the original name layer, just in case you need to edit in the future. I also think I'm gonna rotate this layer just a tinch. So I'm gonna use the rotate tool, which looks like a square or a rectangle and, well, 2 rectangles and 2 curved arrows. That's the best way I can explain it. And then just drag the corners and drag it to what looks good to you. Crop the content, move it. All these emails coming through. The tassel, reverse the hassle. Let's change this to white. So text tool, click in here, highlight it all. White. Yeah, that looks a little better. Let's do a black shadow behind that one. So filters, light and shadow, long shadow, black. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. That popped a little better. Also, let's see what a shadow looks like behind this glitter layer. Filters, light and shadow, long shadow. Ooh, okay. Let's see what white looks like. Let's see what the green looks like. Oh no, definitely not the green. All right, so black or white? Let me know in the chat. Black shadow. There's the black. White shadow. All right, I saw white. I'm gonna go with that since that was the first thing I saw. White. All right, so we already messed with that one. Bilbo is the last name. Why is this still? What is going on? Did I not click OK? Be sure to click OK, or that box will stay up there. I'm like, what is going on? All right, let's use our move tool to move the name around. May not even keep it on there. I don't know if I don't think I need it. I think I'm gonna hide it. So what's left? The images are good. That image is good. Let's make sure this one is centered. Okay. Next one, I think I want this one to be just a tinge smaller. So scale it down. Yep, that's better. Her pictures really worked well for this. Like I was not expecting it. I think I'm gonna go ahead and add a shadow to graduate too, now that I'm looking at it and added a shadow to everything else. All right, there's my logo. There's the background. My watermark needs to be moved all the way to the top. And I can turn down the opacity here where I'm circling. That's how you turn down the transparency or opacity. But actually, I can just turn this layer off because I'm sending this directly to my to the person that submitted this. I'm not charging for this, so I can actually turn that watermark off. Graduates. Let's go back to our graduate layer. And then let's add a long shadow. Green or black? Green or black? Green or black? All right, I saw black. Bam. Click OK. And then we're going to save this thing. I'm pretty sure I'm going to mess around with this some more. But if we were done, you would save and then go to File again. And then you want to export it. Because this is how you're going to save it as an image file and not a design file. So once you export, it should pull up the name. You can keep it the same, rename it if you need to. Just depends on what you got going on. But the best way to send it, well, not necessarily the best. I guess it just depends on what vendor you're using as well. Because some people Some vendors require PDF, some require PNG file, which is shown, or most of them use a JPG file. So let's say we want to change it to JPG. Literally, all you have to do is remove the whatever the ending was and replace it with JPG. I'm going to save it to my open orders folder. Click on export. There'll be a pop-up. Click on export again. And the file that you just exported is the file that you're going to send to your customer, client, or that's what you're going to use for mockups or whatever. You'll learn all of that in the Backdrop Blueprint Academy. So, are there any questions about what we did today with our cute little magazine inspired graduation backdrop? Any feedback? Let me know what you think, or let me know if you have questions. Because that's going to wrap up our designing for this evening's Tutorial Tuesday. No, I use vendors for printing. I don't own any equipment. I don't want to be in charge of buying expensive equipment. I want to go in and make my profits right away. And I don't want to keep inventory, and I don't want to add to my electric bill. And that stuff is expensive. So I teach what to use in the blueprint, or who to use. I have a couple different vendors that they got me in a chokehold. Thanks, LaDonna. All right, if there aren't any more questions, I'm going to end it over here on the app and on the social media platforms. Those of you on Zoom, if you have questions about anything in the Backdrop Blueprint, we're going to stick around for a few more minutes. But everybody else, you all, oh, hold on. If you're on Zoom, stick around if you have questions. But everybody else, I'm going to cut it off. I really enjoyed it and look forward to the training in the Academy. Thanks for signing up for the Academy. I will see you on the 1st. Where is Blueprint info? Let me type it in the chat. So what I just put in the chat is just for the designer tier. So that'll take you all the way up to the main vendor. So everything from getting the software to using the software to making the design, exporting, mockups, all that, the printing with that one vendor. So that's the designer tier. And here is the link to the Academy, if I can spell, backdropblueprint.com. And I just lied, that is not the domain, HTTP Academy. All right, I think I spelled it right. So that's going to be the 8-week hands-on training. Is group coach. It's a group coach setting. So you'll get access to the pre-recorded videos, but at least once a week, we're going to go through and walk through your designs and see if you have questions so that you can get your designs exactly how you want them to be. And also in the Academy, I'm going to go way past just design, and we're going to go to structuring your business, creating your LLC or S Corp, whatever you're going to do. We're going to set up your professional domains, email addresses, your professional pages on Facebook and Instagram if you do not have them already. And then we're going to go down to Etsy setup, because you're going to need all of that to set up your Etsy shops professionally. Show you how to make listings, how to post your designs on Etsy, how to do digital designs if you just want to sell digitally, or I'm going to connect you with a vendor that integrates with Etsy So the orders will go straight to that vendor and you don't have to go and do it manually. Then I'm going to show you how to set up your Shopify stores. And if time permits, I'm also going to show you how to run ads to your Shopify store so that you can make sales in your sleep. So that's the difference between the designer tier and the academy. And the academy is over 8 weeks, and we are going to knock it out and get that business started over those 8 weeks. She learned a lot. Thanks. You are absolutely welcome, and you are welcome, Zendre. Also, any other questions before I hop off of here? Zoom, you just stick around because we got a couple more minutes so y'all can ask y'all questions since y'all actually are members of the blueprint already. All right, I don't see any other questions over here on the app, so I will see you all in a couple weeks, or unless you sign up for one of the blueprint tiers, and you all enjoy the rest of your night. All right, hold on.